Hi, my name is Gene Allen, and this is a demonstration on how to protect intellectual property while still allowing access to it. Recently, I received a call from a energy trading company, and they wanted to protect all their intellectual property that they store in Excel spreadsheets on the network. They want to allow people to use the Excel files, but they don't want them to send them to themselves or otherwise steal these Excel spreadsheets. Anyway, so we're going to use FileSure to show you how to do that. First of all, let's start it up. First thing they're worried about is we've got to make sure that they don't. There's a few things that we have to do. We have to make sure they can't stop them. We have to stop them from copying to pen drives and removable drives and CD-ROMs. We also don't want them to be able to send it via Outlook or webmail, and we don't want them to be able to send it through FTP programs or instant messaging or anything like that. Basically, we want them to be able to use Excel to get to the files and get the data and use the data. One other requirement they have is they want to be able to have the users be able to copy the files from the network to the local machine for performance reasons with Excel. And they also wanted the user to be able to create Excel files on their own. Anyway, so we're here. We got FileSure, and we're going to first of all we're going to stop people from writing to pen drives Excel files. So deny. Goodness, Gene. Deny XLS writes to pen drives, removable drives, and CD DVDs. We don't write to there either. So can't write it, and we're going to use a wildcard called XL. There's a bunch of new Excel types. There's the XLX, XLS, and then there's the XLSX, and then there's the XLD for documents or templates or something. Anyway, we're going to deny them all. They all seem to start with a .xl, and we want this to apply to removable drives and CDs. Typically, you don't need to use servers, but for my demonstration, I'm going to. We want to stop deny it for all the users for these files, deny rights, and that's all there is to it. Yes. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is now we want to deny, we got to stop people with using FTP programs, Internet Explorer, Outlook, and all the other applications except for Excel from reading these files. At that point, they can't steal the data. If they can't read the data, they can't steal the data. So we're going to stop all programs but Excel from reading XLS files. So we're going to have our same wildcard as before, asterisk.xl asterisk, okay? And for all the users, just like before, we don't want them to be able to read. While we're at it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to deny them for renaming, so they can't rename the file to something else, but we're going to allow them to do a non-type rename. In other words, they can change the name, but they can't change the extension. And we're going to do that on the hard drive. And so, let me go ahead and be clear on this. On the hard drive, because we don't want to deny it anywhere else. And we want to stop everything except for excel.exe. Except, exclude. There we go. So that automatically includes all programs except from Excel from being able to read XLS files. Yes. Okay, we had the same requirement that Explorer had to be able to read from the network and write to the hard drive. Well, when we did this rule, we limited it to hard drives. So the network, anything can still read from the network. That means we still have a hole if some program decided to read directly, like an FTP program, to read directly from the network and do something with it. For instance, if we were to open up Internet Explorer and then do a Gmail account and attach a file directly from the network, since we're not denying access to the network drives, it would be allowed through. So we need one more rule. Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and say deny all but Explorer. This would be Windows Explorer from reading XLS files on the network. So everybody gets denied for read. Same file cards that we always like. Okay, for all the users, network drives. And we're going to exclude Explorer in this one. Oops, that should be an exclude. So open for read. So at this point, all programs are going to be denied the ability to read network file on the network's XLS files unless it's Explorer. Okay, let's turn these mamas on. Turn that one on, yeah. And turn this one on, yeah. Oop, no. And turn that one on. Yes. Now I'm going to slap in my handy dandy pin drive. First of all, we should be able to, our requirements were we need to be able to copy files from the network. So let's go to the network and find my trusty file to steal. File to steal, should be able to copy it. And it's already there. What do you mean it's already there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I must have had one there already. I didn't realize it. Okay, so that was allowed. Now we're going to try to copy it to our pin drive. And my pin drive happens to be, hasn't put in yet. Pin drive. There it is. Open that folder. Now, go crazy. Can't do it. Denied. All right, let's, so we can't write to pin drives. Let's try to change the extension and write to the pin drive. Can't rename it. We can rename it, but we can't change the type. Let's try to email it ourselves. So we'll start up an email. No, we can't do that either. One more time, just in case it was sure. Nope, can't do that. Okay, let's do Gmail. Let's try to send it via Gmail. That will do it. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, slow Internet Explorer. Signed out. I don't want to sign in. Sometimes I really can't stand all the signing in and out stuff. Yes. And you would think they'd figure out the single sign-in, so I don't have to ever worry with this again. Anyway, so we're going to attempt to create an email, and we're going to send it to, yeah, that's the guy. And let's attach a file. Let's attach this one. Can't read it. Let's try to get the one off the network. Where was it? File to steal. File to steal. Try that one right there. Can't read that either. So at this point, we've blocked Gmail, Outlook, and Explorer from doing what it needs to do to pin drives. That pretty much, and it would also block instant message FTP programs, anything that's trying to read the file that it shouldn't. So we've pretty much demonstrated everything we need to do. Oh, we haven't shown you that you can actually read the file with Excel. Since we allowed Excel to read the file, we're going to open it up. I think it's going to open up one day. There it goes. And hello world. Oh, hello Gene. Okay, and we'll try to save that file, which should work, and it does. But let's go ahead and try to save it to the pen drive. And where was it? G? No, we can't do that either. If we try to change the extension, actually that, my goodness, it got all upset when he tried to do that. Whatever the case, CSV doesn't really do us any good. Oh, because it made it to CLS anyway. Did it really put it out there? I don't think that it did, because Excel automatically puts an XLS on there if you try to save it as an XLS. And there, it's not there. So you really can't change the extension via an Excel, because it's going to put an XLS at the end if it's truly an Excel. And what we're trying to protect is the file, the formulas in here, not the data anyway. So even if you could export it to CSV, you're going to lose all the formulas. Okay. Oh, there is one way they can get the system out, get the data out. So let's do this. I'll show you how to do it. Send to an email. At this point, Excel has the ability to read the file. And since Excel is actually creating the mail message, it's able to create the mail message and attach the data because it was allowed to read it, and then Outlook will do the sending. Well, this is obviously isn't what we want. We want to block the send to from within Exchange. Now, this is kind of geeky, but there isn't any other way that you can stop this from happening. You can attempt to do it with a macro, or you can attempt to put something on the Exchange server. Whatever the case is, it's ugly. But we're going to do it quickly here by adding a defend rule. Stop Excel from sending mail. And what we're going to do is we're going to say deny access to the MAPI DLL. MAPI is the mail API. Okay, oop, I forgot the dot .xl. Don't let it read it for all the users. And hard drive, blah, 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 blah. And we're only going to let this one apply to Excel. Oops, might actually help to put the .exe on there. So at this point, we've said only Excel.exe can read the MAPI, or it's going to be denied, a defend rule, going to be denied the ability to read the MAPI DLL. So Word will still be able to send map email and PowerPoint and everything else, but Excel won't be able to do it. So that's all there is to do that. Yeah, we want to do that. So now let's try to send it to ourselves. Not rename it. So we start it up and we say send to email. And I must not have closed it. Try this. Oh, well, it might help if I turned it on. Duh. Now try it. Send. Ta-da! Can't do the mail service. So we've demonstrated, oh, everything is actually being recorded here. For instance, when the Exchange server just tried to, Outlook just tried to read, or excuse me, Excel just tried to read the MAPI DLL, we denied it. You can see all these other denies being recorded behind us. This is actually the real-time monitor. If we were to go and do a forensics, we can see all this stuff in real live gory detail. And let's just say go, previous 2 hours from the local machine. Right now, it's actually going out to the service, and it's decompressing the audit logs. The audit logs are stored in compressed and encrypted format, so it's going through and doing all that. And down here towards the bottom, you'll see all of our demonstrations. Here it is. Outlook tried to read, Excel tried to read the MAPI DLL. We denied that. Or who is this? Explorer tried to read a file. We don't allow that either. File to steal. This is Explorer. Explorer does that a lot because we're not allowing it. Explorer reads a lot of files. And let's see, here's one. Oh, this is when we saved. We did all sorts of things. Excel's trying to save a file. Here's where we tried to use Internet Explorer. Oops, wrong file. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Internet Explorer attempting to read directly from the network, and that was denied also. And all this stuff is being recorded locally. On a workstation situation where this would be sent to a workstation deployed, there obviously isn't a console, and all these files will be stored locally. And then they'll be shipped up on a regular basis to the main server, and you can, query for that directly. We could have also set up an alert so we can get an email when somebody's trying to do some of these bad things. But I think that satisfies all the requirements that they had, and that is the end of my demonstration.